world around us is changing in ways no one ever predicted. It's not just signs. People have captured real, true sightings of Jesus. And isn't that one of the biggest indicators of the end of the world?
Looking at the balcony, notice this.
So let's watch before it might be too late.
Just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area.
People in Sudan were stunned when the entire sky turned orange. The color not only spread across the horizon, but the strong winds made everything seem as if it was burning. Fear quickly took over as people stepped outside to witness it together. Many believers pointed to Bible verses describing signs in the heavens before the return of Jesus. To them, this was not weather, but a clear warning from above that his arrival is near. Now, people fear that this was only the beginning and that more signs will soon appear. Skygrid. In December 2024, the sky over Tulsa changed in a way no one had ever seen. Luminous blue squares formed a perfect grid across the clouds.
That's a grid.
The pattern stayed for nearly 20 seconds, sharp and impossible, unlike any storm or light display anyone had witnessed. A man grabbed his camera and zoomed in. The lines looked deliberate, like a hidden structure above our world briefly revealing itself. For those watching, it felt as if reality was lifting a corner of its veil, showing a layer of the sky we never knew existed. Everyone stared, waiting to see what would appear next.
I've never seen anything like that in my life, and it's gone, just like that.
Heaven Sound. California, USA. This was one of those rare moments when the sky itself seemed to speak. People in the Victorville area had been hearing loud, metallic thundering, like massive machines moving overhead.
We all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area.
But when police officers arrived, they could not find the source of the noise. Soon, videos of the sound spread online, and reports came in from people in other states hearing the same phenomenon. Religious leaders warned that this was not a blessing. According to ancient texts, the noises marked a doorway opening, a reminder that the sky's silence could end at any moment.
I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it.
Misty Messiah. A farmer was working his land when he looked up and saw something strange in the sky. A massive figure made of thick, glowing mist was moving with a clear purpose. The farmer stopped everything he was doing because it felt like he was watching a spirit move through the air. Then he noticed something shocking. The outline just matched Jesus. So was this really Jesus or some other spirit? Let me know in the comments. Golden Trumpet. People in Mexico were left in shock when a huge, golden portal suddenly appeared in the open sky. Before it appeared, the region was filled with strange, booming sounds that shook the ground. Residents described them as deep trumpet blasts, echoing through the streets. This was the second time such a trumpet had been heard globally, following the similar phenomenon in California. The sky had spoken again, and its message was clear. No one knows where or when the next sign could appear. Be ready. Maybe the next witness could be you. Heavenly Silhouette. This time, the sky had a different, emotional story to tell. Out of nowhere, a figure appeared in the bright sky, showing the unmistakable silhouette of Jesus standing among the clouds. People on the ground began to cry out in prayer, stunned by what they were witnessing. The figure stayed for several moments, looking down upon the earth with a calm and holy presence. And right away the video ended, but sent shockwaves through the world as believers call it a literal glimpse of the second coming. It felt as if the heavens opened for a split second just to send a message that the wait is almost over. Seafoot. Now the sea has started to show terrifying signs of what is to come. A beachgoer in Phuket looked out at the water and saw a giant, misty shape of a human-like foot pressed against the ocean's surface. The waves began to swirl and pull back, as if something heavy was pressing down on them. Hours later, a 7.7 magnitude tremor struck the region. The timing has made many wonder if this was a spiritual warning. When the video was shared, one user commented that it is all predicted. Revelation 10:2 also mentions a mighty messenger setting his right foot on the sea and his left on the earth. That moment felt like the earth itself was reacting to a divine presence. Double sun. Recently, an incredible sight was captured in Saudi Arabia. People looked up and saw not one, but two suns, perfectly aligned in the sky. The heat grew intense, as if the sky itself was burning. Some suggested it might be a reflection in the atmosphere, while others wondered if it was a warning of the world's end. Scientists rushed to investigate, trying to explain the phenomenon. Meanwhile, religious activists called it one of the greatest signs, pointing to ancient prophecies that mention multiple suns appearing as a final warning that the world is about to end. That day, the sky seemed to speak in a way people could not ignore. Coastal Jesus. A man at a resort in Jerusalem was filming the coastline when he noticed a figure sitting in the sand. At first, he thought it was just another tourist, but when he zoomed in, he froze. The figure had the unmistakable appearance of Jesus, sitting calmly as the waves crashed nearby. And then the video ended, but the mystery didn't stop there. Shortly after, near a sacred river, a smoky shape began forming above the water where a spiritual ceremony was taking place. It wasn't a cloud or fire, but a tall, glowing presence hovering over the prayers. Jesus. These apparitions are appearing more often. Now, let's see what comes next. Chariots fire. A man looking out from his apartment window recorded a strange sight over the city. Several bright, glowing spheres hovered silently in the dark sky. They did not blink like airplanes. Instead, they gave off a steady white light that slowly pulsed, almost like it was planned. As the video continued, the orbs moved together in a smooth pattern, sliding through the clouds like a quiet sky dance. He thought these were not machines at all, but the chariots of fire long spoken of as a sign from above. Breathing earth.
Hey, what?
Have you ever seen the ground breathe? Sounds impossible. But in Japan, a strange video left people stunned. The ground began rising and sinking, moving as if something beneath it was pushing up. Then it paused, then moved again, over and over. Witnesses started calling it the breathing earth. Some scientists say it's just shifts in underground pressure, but others aren't so sure. They think it could be a hidden warning, a sign that the Earth itself is preparing for a collision. That moment made everyone realize the land beneath our feet might not be as quiet as we think. Child prophet. A sweet video of a 2-year-old child became the center of attraction on the internet. The kid was speaking words far beyond their age, describing visions of the heavens opening and the return of Jesus. The parents recorded the moment, stunned as their toddler recited what sounded like a prophecy. Many point to Acts 2:17, which says that in the last days, sons and daughters will prophesy. It is chilling to hear such heavy warnings from a voice barely able to speak. This child prophet is being seen as a sign that the message is reaching everyone, even the youngest souls. Fiery clouds. At 11,000 meters, a passenger looked out his plane window and saw a sight that froze him in disbelief. The clouds below glowed a fiery orange, looking like a lake of molten lava. Strangest part? Sunlight hitting the clouds from beneath usually causes colors at sunrise, but this was different. The sky looked as if it were on fire. He recorded the scene, realizing the earth below seemed trapped beneath a burning celestial blanket. Many now call this the fire in the sky, a sign linked to ancient prophecies warning of the Great Tribulation. Red warning. People in the town were shocked when strange red lights began flashing, lighting up the entire sky. It didn't look like a sunset or a normal storm. The glow pulsed across the clouds, moving like it had a purpose. It wasn't a usual phenomenon, so what could it be?
Guys, do you see that?
What?
Well, old texts have always described a red sky as a warning before a major change. That night, it felt like the sky itself was sending a message, forcing everyone to pay attention to what was coming.
Is that fireworks?
No way.
Cave vision. You might think caves are empty, but for this explorer, one cave held a giant secret. Deep inside, he saw a man sitting perfectly still, surrounded by a pure white glow. It wasn't a lamp or any ordinary light. It radiated from the figure itself, covering him completely. He seemed completely absorbed in it, almost meditating. Was it a connection to the divine? Or even Jesus? The explorer stayed frozen, unable to speak, knowing he had stumbled upon something far beyond normal understanding. Galilee Pillar. The land where miracles once happened has revealed a sign that looks like a bridge between the earth and the heavens. In northern Israel, near Galilee, a massive glowing pillar of cloud shot straight up from the ground into the sky. Unlike ordinary storm clouds or mist, it held its shape, and even heavy winds couldn't shake it. Witnesses froze in silence, filming as the pillar seemed to connect the sacred land below with the vast skies above. Locals and those sharing the footage online have started calling it the Galilee Pillar. Its sudden appearance in such a historic, sacred place makes it feel like the world is quietly shifting, and we're only just starting to notice. Golden figure. A sky watcher in North Carolina was looking through his telescope when he captured an impossible sight. High in the sky, he saw a dark figure floating calmly among the clouds. It wasn't a plane or a drone, but a humanoid shape surrounded with an eerie glow.
Dude, I don't know. It's kind of scary.
According to the guy, he captured another dimensional being peeking out of its world for a while, because if not, the entity could not just disappear easily without leaving a trail.
What is that? Dude, that's like plane.
Opened portal. A man was filming the night sky when a sudden glow appeared out of nowhere. The light kept pulsing in an entirely unsettling way, but soon the entire scene changed. A mysterious disc-shaped glow appeared in the sky, and it moved faster than any drone. Even experts were speechless, seeing what just appeared in the night sky. The way the sky shifted made it seem like something had slipped through from another dimension. Whatever it was didn't stay long, but it was clear it wasn't alone in our world that night. Living shadow. In December 2024, people were shocked by something strange in the sky. A giant shadow stretched across the clouds, moving slowly over the horizon. Everyone began recording, trying to process the fact that they were seeing a shadow in the sky.
Look at this. Look at this.
According to some, this supports the theory that the sky is fake. Yes, there is a group that believes what we are seeing is anything but the sky. And even if we deny this theory, we cannot deny the fact that some people recorded a shadow in the sky. Sky Judge. First, glowing orbs moved across the sky, hinting at something beyond our understanding. Now, a new sign appeared in the Philippines. A driver spotted a perfect, blazing white figure in the sky. This wasn't a light trick or a random cloud. It was a direct appearance of Jesus, visible for a short while. To many, he will soon return, not as a gentle figure, but as a judge. Panic spread, and thousands gathered near the Basilica Minore of Our Lady of Peñafrancia to pray. No evidence is needed anymore. The final countdown has started. Winged angel.
That's unreal. It's like it's carved out of light.
A crowd stood outside, phones ready, as the clouds began to shift in a town. Suddenly, a figure with wide, glowing wings formed in the bright blue sky. Sunlight caught the edges just right, giving the figure a radiant, otherworldly presence.
See the whole figure. Head, robe.
People freaked out, recording every second. The footage sparked fascination and debate. For devotees, the angel appears for blessings to the town, but some connect it to ancient texts describing heavenly beings appearing before major changes in history. Which theory will you buy?
That's unreal. It's like it's carved out of light.
Sea witness. A fisherman in the North Sea saw something strange hovering above the waves. At first, he thought the heavy fog was playing tricks on his eyes. But as he watched, he realized it was not a cloud. A smoked figure seemed to be standing there, watching his boat from above the sea. The video later went viral, reaching people around the world. Some who saw the footage believe it was Jesus making an appearance in the sea, perhaps offering a blessing or signaling that his arrival in the world was near. Glowing heart. A man stepped outside his home and noticed something unusual in the night sky. There were dozens of tiny, glowing orbs surrounding the tree. They didn't move randomly like normal. Instead, the orbs stayed eerily together. When the video was shared online, many people claimed they were actually fireflies. However, the man insisted that he had never seen anything like that before and that it was nothing usual. Let me know what you think of this footage in the comments below. Skybridge. People in Shanghai froze when they saw a massive, glowing object hovering in the night sky. It stretched across the skyline like a floating bridge, and behind it, 3 smaller orbs rotated in a perfect circle, moving as if they were an escort. The formation didn't move like any drone. And the military refused the idea of drone activity too, and before anyone could dismiss it. Days later, the same phenomenon appeared over Perth, Australia. So if it is not extraterrestrial activity, how else would you explain it? Sky tearing. In California, a man stepped out of his house to enjoy what looked like a perfectly clear sky. Without any warning, strange smoke clouds began to appear out of thin air. It didn't make sense how such thick vapor could form in a second. The man grabbed his camera and zoomed in to see what was hiding inside the smoke. As he zoomed a little, he saw bright lights shining through small holes in the cloud.
What?
Was heaven ripping off? Well, it didn't show properly. Just lights this time, and the video ended right away.
Hey, what the f***?
Holy Host. Back in 2013, in Kerala, India, a quiet church gathering turned into a moment no one expected. During a service at Christ the King Church, people noticed something forming on the white bread. Slowly, a clear face began to appear, and many said it looked like Jesus. What followed was not rushed or emotional. Experts studied the vessel for 12 long years, checking every possible explanation. In the end, the Vatican confirmed it as a true miracle, the first ever recognized in India. Since then, visitors from across the country have come to see it, believing it was a rare moment when the spiritual world chose to show itself. Temple signals.
ראש הממשלה, איפה אנחנו?
אנחנו ברחוב עולי הרגל, בעיר דוד.
Netanyahu's tunnel video under Al-Aqsa didn't feel random. You know what made people pause? The timing. For years, digging under the Temple Mount was called routine, yet now everything seems to be lining up at once. The red heifer is ready. Altar rehearsals are happening. Sealed underground areas are suddenly being talked about again. For believers, this isn't just politics. Scripture links the rebuilding of the temple with events that come before the return of Jesus. Some rabbis have always said the Ark of the Covenant was hidden below, waiting for the right moment. If that ground is opened, it wouldn't just change history. It would mean the timeline people thought was distant might already be moving. Final flood. A video is going viral from Ghana, showing a man falsely claiming him as a prophet Ibo Noah. He warned that a global flood will start on December 25th, 2025, lasting 3 years. To survive, he said he is building at least 8 huge wooden arks. Followers have started selling their homes and belongings, preparing for what he called the final judgment. In the videos, he could be seen wearing a sackcloth, speaking with urgency as if the world is running out of time. His theory sparked controversy. But later on, Ghanaian authorities even. Still, his followers watch the skies, hoping the second Noah might be right about the coming storm. Ghost ship.
Boat crew for the next boat.
Early one morning at the Mukilteo terminal in Washington, a 100-foot commercial fishing vessel appeared out of the darkness. The ferry Tokitai had to stop, unsure what it was. Then it became clear, a ghost ship, drifting silently with no crew, no lights, and no engine. Witnesses say the Mary B moved like a phantom, blocking the dock as if it had a will of its own. When the videos went viral, it left many unsettled. Some even see it as a warning that the world is losing its direction.
What in the world?
Church light.
And okay, Lord, and now this piece. He didn't say, Lord, it's just too much.
Something unexpected happened during a quiet moment in a church that left everyone staring in disbelief. A strange light suddenly appeared above a woman's head. As people watched, the glow grew brighter and began to take a very clear shape.
Now I got a family that's grown up. Now it's going to go a little bit faster than when we just trust you.
The form had large feathered wings, looking exactly like a celestial being. Believers in the church were convinced they were witnessing a real angel. The light stayed in place for several moments, shining with a calm, powerful presence. Many left the church feeling that they had just seen a divine blessing.
He just moved forward to what God had told him to do. The waters rolled back, didn't it?
Lucifer's eye. Something terrifying appeared in the night sky over Mexico, and it left everyone watching in shock. A man filming a storm caught an eye staring down from the dark clouds. The shape was so clear and menacing that viewers quickly called it Lucifer's eye, as if a demonic presence was observing the earth. Some say it's just a trick of the mind, called pareidolia, but others aren't convinced by science. Many believe the barrier between our world and the spirit realm is weakening. Ancient texts warn that in the final days, the sky will show deceiving spirits and ominous signs. Was it Lucifer's eye, or just a trick? Make your move. Youth warning. A young girl stood in the middle of her town, not to give a normal speech, but to deliver a warning. She took the microphone and shouted verses from Matthew 24:14, reminding everyone that the gospel must reach every nation before the end. She spoke of Jesus returning soon, not as a savior, but as a judge, and pleaded with the crowd to repent. Many ignored her at first, walking past as if she didn't exist. For believers, her courage is a sign the younger generation is being sent to awaken a world that won't listen until it's too late. Messiah warning.
breaking news from Jerusalem, where a mysterious man claiming to be the Messiah has appeared, drawing crowds near the Western Wall with unsettling prophecies of an imminent apocalypse.
The holy city of Jerusalem has become the center of a strange and urgent event that has captured the world's attention. A man appeared in the streets, boldly calling himself the Messiah and drawing a crowd of curious onlookers. At first, people wondered if prophecy was unfolding before their eyes, but soon it became clear he was not claiming divinity. His goal was to shock the public with his act of paying attention, delivering a message about repentance and returning to a holy life soon. Well, a smart move for a recall. Light invasion. What happened in the night sky over the United States is shocking. Families were watching from their porches as bright, pulsing lights hovered perfectly over a major city. These lights didn't move like satellites at all. Across several states, thousands reported glowing rings and beams slicing through the clouds, pulsing with a rhythm that felt alive. Glowing orbs. A couple in Alberta, Canada, was stunned when they noticed a glowing ball hovering quietly above the ground. They watched it for a few moments before it suddenly vanished without a trace. Right after that, on railway tracks in Russia, people reported seeing two glowing orbs, a larger one followed by a smaller one, zipping along the tracks. These orbs weren't just floating. They shot out sparks like tiny fireworks, even disturbing the nearby electricity lines. Then, with a loud boom, both lights disappeared. Scientists call these strange lights ball lightning, a rare type of electricity that sometimes appears during storms. But not everyone is convinced. Some suggest it could be visitors from outer space, or even a form of divine energy. Chinese orbs. This time, China became the stage for a strange display of glowing orbs in the sky. People from one city watched in awe as several bright spheres hovered silently, pulsing with an energy that didn't feel natural. The lights moved in a pattern that seemed purposeful, as if sending a message across the heavens. It wasn't just a one-off sighting. The way the orbs appeared makes you wonder, where will the next one show up? Maybe the next display will happen right over your city, and the world will be watching again. Manchester Orb. Now the skies over a busy airport have become a doorway for objects that do not follow the laws of our world. A pilot at Manchester Airport captured a solid, black metallic orb dropping silently from the clouds. There were no wings, no engines, and no jet streams. It moved with chilling precision and landed softly near the runway. Even a military jet couldn't match its speed. This Manchester orb serves as a reminder that the Creator's power is not limited to Earth, but extends to other dimensional beings who also witness his authority. Sky spiral.
I'm looking for that helicopter or whatever the hell that was.
Now the quiet wilderness of northern Canada has turned into the center of a strange moment caught on camera. A group of people looked up and saw the sky change in an instant. A glowing blue-white spiral began to form, spreading outward as if the sky itself was opening. It wasn't the northern lights. The center stayed dark, while the edges shimmered and slowly pulsed. People standing there said the air felt heavy and still, almost charged. Officials later suggested a rocket fuel release, but for many, the timing and detail felt too perfect. As more of these spirals of light are caught on camera, it is becoming clear that the heavens are no longer keeping their secrets.